Coming up today on WCMO NewsCenter 15, updates on the presidential debates, campaign funds, and reopening cinemas in India. We'll have these stories and more. Be sure to tune in for all of this on WCMO TV at noon 30 and 6:30.
When I found Marietta, I didn't just find a place to go to college. I found so much more than that.
I found friends. I found sports.
I found my passion.
I found family.
I found my calling. I found a place to call home. Discover what you can find at Marietta by visiting marietta.edu today.
Coming up today on NewsCenter 15, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is getting a new home.
And Marietta College campus has an update.
We'll have these stories and more. NewsCenter 15 starts now. Good afternoon, and welcome to Thursday's edition of NewsCenter 15. I'm Griffin Malik.
And I'm Cole Longcore.
Topping our news this afternoon, President Donald Trump and challenger Joe Biden will compete for TV audiences in dueling town halls instead of meeting face-to-face for their second debate as originally planned. The two will take questions in different cities on different networks Thursday night, Trump on NBC for Miami, Biden from ABC in Philadelphia. Trump backed out of plans for the presidential face-off originally scheduled for the evening after the debate organizers shifted the format to a virtual event following Trump's coronavirus diagnosis.
Rudolph and his still shiny nose are getting a new home, and it's bound to be better than the Island of Misfit Toys. The shining reindeer and his Santa figures, who starred in the beloved stop animation classic in 1962, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, are going up for auction. Auction House Profiles and History announced that Thursday the 5-inch tall Rudolph figure and the 11-inch tall Santa used to animate the 1964 TV special are being sold together on a lot in auction that starts on November 13th and are expected to fetch between $150,000 and $250,000.
Hey, Cole, I wonder what the weather looks like today.
Here to provide us a first look at the weather is Cooper Holmes.
Well, thanks, guys. We're starting to see some different conditions and stuff move in throughout the Mid-Ohio Valley. Right now, we have a high of 70, but it feels like 64. Our high for today is 72 with a low of 44, with some partly cloudy skies out. Our UV index is 3, a low right now. We have good air quality, and of course, pollen is still low because we're into the fall season and we're not having all the different plants and whatnot being flourishing. We have a 14-mile-per-hour wind from the west. Humidity is at 55%. And our sunrise this morning was at 7:36, and we can expect our sunset to be at 6:46. Now, that's what we have right now for our current conditions, but make sure to stay tuned when we have your 5-day outlook. Back to you guys at the desk.
The number of Americans seeking unemployment benefits rose last week to 898,000, a historically high number and evidence that layoffs remain a hindrance to the economy's recovery from the pandemic recession that erupted 7 months ago. Thursday's report from the Labor Department shows that the job market remains fragile, and it coincides with other recent data that has signaled a slowdown in hiring. The economy is still roughly 10.7 million jobs short of recovering all the 22 million jobs that were lost when the pandemic struck in early spring.
In Marietta College news, currently we have 4 active cases of the coronavirus. These students are at home currently recovering. This brings our total cases to campus up to 7 for the semester. We also currently have 30 students in quarantine at this time. The Ohio National Guard on campus yesterday was administering voluntary testing of students and faculty. These test results should be back in around 48 hours.
When WCMO returns, an update on Joe Biden's campaign funds.
And a scheduled procedural vote on a GOP COVID relief bill.
Stay with us.
Hey, this is Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, many of us feel anxious. Mindfulness can help you ease those feelings. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace.
Here's to the straggly ones, the first ones. But hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
Joe Biden is raking in the dough. The Democratic presidential nominee says his campaign raised $383 million in September, surpassing his August haul of $364 million. In August, President Trump and the Republican National Committee had $326 million of cash on hand. The Trump campaign has not yet announced its September fundraising numbers. Biden and the Democratic National Committee ended August with $466 million.
Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett batted away Democrats' skeptical questions on Tuesday of abortion, healthcare, and a possible disputed election fight over transferring presidential power, insisting she would bring no personal agenda to the court but decide cases as they come. She declined to say whether she would recuse herself from any election-related cases involving President Donald Trump, who nominated her to fill the seat of the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and is pressing to have her confirmed before November 3rd on the election.
With Election Day just 3 weeks away, President Donald Trump and Democratic challenger Joe Biden concentrated Tuesday on battleground states both see as critical to clinching an electoral college victory, tailoring their travel to best motivate voters who could cast potentially decisive ballots. While Trump visited Pennsylvania, Biden hit Florida to court seniors, betting that a voting bloc that buoyed Trump for 4 years has become disenchanted with the White House's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. It was Biden's third visit to the state in a month after making targeted appeals to other communities, including veterans and Latinos.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said Tuesday that he's scheduling a procedural vote on a GOP COVID relief bill next week, pushing aid to hard-hit businesses in a smaller before approach to the virus relief that Democrats said they wouldn't go for. The Kentucky Republican says the first item of the Senate business when the chamber returns next Monday will be a procedural vote on a scaled-back aid bill. Democrats filibustered a GOP draft aid bill last month, and recent talks on a larger deal between Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi fell apart the past week, probably for good.
Coming up next, airline food is making a move to some supermarkets.
We'll also get the latest news from Hollywood.
And what can we expect of our weather ahead in the week? When we come back, we'll take a look at your extended forecast. Stay with us.
Where are we?
We are at Marietta College.
This is where we live at Marietta College.
Finnish carrier Finnair will start selling business-class airplane food in supermarkets in a move to keep its catering staff employed and to offer a taste of the airline experience to those missing flying in the COVID-19 times. The state-controlled airline said that the handmade meals called the Taste of Finnair would initially be offered at one store as of Thursday. The ready-made dishes include options like reindeer meatballs, Arctic char, and Japanese-style teriyaki beef and are suited for Nordic and Asian palates and would cost about 10 euros to 13 euros, Fan Kitchen said.
The Dean of the University of South Carolina School of Law is apologizing for forwarding an email that contained the names of the students who failed the exam to become a lawyer and the confidential bar exam grades of every student. Dean William Hubbard said he was so excited last week when he got the official email that 82% of his students had passed the exam that he forwarded it without noticing the attachments that were meant to stay private.
7 months after screens went dark, cinemas reopened Thursday in much of India with mostly old titles on the marquees. A sign of the country's efforts to return to normal as the pace of coronavirus infections slow, but also of the roadblocks that remain. The return to movie theaters comes as India is registered the highest number of daily cases globally and is expected to soon top the list worldwide in terms of total number of reported infections, passing the United States. But trends also suggest the spread is beginning to slow.
My left to her left. But you're right.
In entertainment, you may remember Tom Felton as Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies. Felton plays an even bigger baddie in a new Netflix movie.
Here to fill us in on the latest news in Hollywood is Marissa Milham.
What do you have for us, Marissa?
It's hard to tell, but it's Tom Felton from the Harry Potter movies as the big bad in the Netflix original, A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting. A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting is out today on Netflix. That's Tom Petty singing Leave Virginia Alone from his upcoming posthumous release, Wildflowers and All the Rest. The expanded version of his 1994 album was a project Petty was working on prior to his passing in 2017. The new version includes 15 solo demos by Petty, 5 of which are previously unreleased. Wildflowers and All the Rest releases Friday, October 16th. Here's a first look at Tessa Thompson's In Sylvia's Love, set in 1957, New York. The film follows a romance between a jazz saxophonist and a record store clerk. Sylvia's Love debut on Amazon Prime Video, Christmas Day. That's all I have in entertainment in Hollywood. I'm Marissa Milham. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Marissa. Now we'll head to Cooper for a look at the weather.
How does it look out there today, Cooper?
Well, guys, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to see some different changes and whatnot in our weather. As you can tell, we do have a front of rain and maybe a few chances of storms starting to move within our Ohio and West Virginia area. But as we see, we're not going to get a whole lot of that as of today, but there's still a chance of it as well. And again, you can see those storms are kind of spanning from the upper part of Ohio and, of course, moving along into our general area as well. But when we look closer into Marietta and our current conditions, we have a few different spots of rain, around in our different regions and whatnot. But as of right now, we're still having some clear skies and some still warm conditions as well. But as we go through our 5-day forecast, we might see some variations. Starting with, of course, Friday, we'll have a high of 56, a low of 32, and it's going to be mostly cloudy out. So we're still going to have those more fall temperatures start to roll in compared to the 70s we've been having. Saturday, a high of 60, a low of 43, and we're going to have mostly sunny conditions. So hopefully we're still going to have a lot of that sun peeking through as our weekend comes up ahead. Sunday, having a high of 66, a low of 46, and again, partly cloudy. So we're going to see that kind of more fall weather start to settle in with cloudy and colder temperatures. On Monday, again, with a high of 61, a low of 49, and then we're going to start to see some rain move in at the beginning of the week with a 60% chance of rain. And again on Tuesday with a high of 67, a low of 52, and then our 40% chance of rain. So as we're going to go out through the week, hopefully the weekend is going to at least stay brighter, but get a little bit colder as well. And then we might see some chances of rain throughout the beginning of next week. But that is your extended forecast. That's all I have for right now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Cooper. When we come back, Cooper will join us at an update in the world of sports.
See you in a few.
James Brown and Bill Cowher welcoming you back to the Midnight Snack Run.
This is one tricky obstacle course.
He's reaching, but he pushes it away. He's approaching a plate of iced cookies. He blows right by him.
Oh, the fridge.
Looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs the water bottle.
Now he's just got to get out of there.
Look what dropped from the sky.
Don't do it, Dennis. That's the way you execute a Midnight Snack Run.
Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We've always had villains to face.
Bad guys to take down.
But you
are the most horrible of all.
We're not here because we have to be.
We're here because we've had enough of you.
Every single one of us is mortal.
But inside of us, we're all heroes.
So stand up with us.
Stand up to fight.
Stand up to cancer. Visit standuptocancer.org to learn more.
And now we're back with Cooper Parrott for a look at sports.
What are we looking at in the world of sports today, Cooper?
I can give you the rundown now. Jose Moreno says that he is not involved in any talks for Tottenham to re-sign Gareth Bale for Real Madrid. Bale's agent, Jonathan Barnett, has told the Associated Press that he is speaking with Tottenham about a deal for Wales star to play for North London club again after 7 years away. Mourinho says, "It's not my job to have contracts with agents." Tottenham sold Bale to Madrid in 2013 for 100 million euros, then $132 million US, months after Mourinho left the Spanish Giants. In San Diego, police are trying to find the person who stabbed Padres outfielder Tommy Pham. It happened at the Pacers Showgirls Gentlemen's Club after some kind of fight Sunday night, and Pham was stabbed in the back. He is doing fine, and Padres say he's expected to make a full recovery. He says he'll be back in his off-season training routine in no time. The University of Alabama announced Wednesday that famed college football coach Nick Saban has contracted coronavirus. He stated that he has tested positive for the virus that afternoon. He is self-isolating at his home and coaching via Zoom calls. He is not showing any symptoms and plans to take another test to confirm he has COVID-19. Anyone considered to have had high-risk contact with Saban or the university's athletic director, who also tested positive, will be expected to quarantine. The Dodgers jumped out to an 11-0 lead in the top of the first inning in Game 3 of the NLCS, capped off by Max Muncy grand slam. That is the most runs scored in a single inning in postseason history. According to ESPN Stats and Info, the Dodgers sent 14 hitters to the plate as part of their 11-run first inning. That is tied for the most hitters sent to the plate in the first inning of a game in postseason history. The only other occurrence was the Cardinals in Game 5 of last year's NLDS, also against the Braves. That's all I have for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Cooper. Joining us now at the desk is Cooper for our last look at the weather.
Like I said, guys, we're gonna see more of those fall temperatures start to set in. We're gonna have a lot of rain start to move in possibly next week. But hopefully the weekend stays nice. I mean, it'd be nice to get out.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a sunny weekend before it gets too cold.
Right.
Enjoy while you can, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for joining us for Thursday's edition of WCMO TV, Channel 15 at noon 30 and 6:30. From all of us here at the station, we wish you a great weekend.
Candace. This senior basketball player loves to spend time hanging out before class with her best friend and education major Shelby. Shelby knows the best place to study is at the Calapi Cafe, where she can compare notes with baseball player Ryan and get a great cup of coffee too. In the off-season, Ryan tries his best when he's shooting hoops with broadcasting major Gage in the Dyson Baudo Recreation Center, home of Fenton Court. Gage, as producer at WCMO 15 News, runs the control room, where he shows the ropes to Mary, a junior volleyball player and advertising and public relations major. Mary loves to spend her free time drawing down at the Herman Fine Arts Center, where her sorority sister Madison majors in studio art. Madison meets up downtown with junior rower Katie. Downtown's where you can get beautiful river views, specialty stores, and the best root beer in Ohio. Katie heads back to campus just in time for a class in the Rickey Science Center with who else but Candace. So take a look around. Here at Marietta College, we're all connected. We are family, and we are all pioneers.
So there you are. It's flu season, and you're over 65 like me. You might be forgetting something serious.